Alright guys, welcome to my second video of this Platinum Expo. Now this isn't going to be exactly about games. It's got a little bit of extra content involved in other things, and that would be more political in general. And the reason I'm doing this is kind of to analyze and show the difference between the two, but also the similarity. And the similarity is the discourse, the actions between the people that have like other sides of the fence. So, for instance, perfect example is Summer of Gaming Fest. That's been going on since the beginning of June, and a lot of people have been put off by it. I, for one, have been put off by certain things, not a lot, but certain things that have kind of put me off, and that would be whether you think about Naughty Dog's cash grab of basically giving out the same game that they created in, I believe it was 2016 or 2014, one of the two. Uh, and basically just adding a little extra shading to it and then just throwing it back out and saying pay full price. That was an issue, but outside of that, there have been a lot of different developers that have finally made the decision to step up to the plate and make something for all the other people in the world to have fun and enjoy things. And on the other side of the fence, you've got people that are super excited about all the games and super excited about all the news, and they just can't wait to sink their teeth into something new for them, anyways. And so it's a little on the fence on both sides. I feel like there's some great games that are coming out, especially yesterday, or I think it was yesterday or it was Saturday, one of the two, where you had Atlas's reveal for the Xbox and PCs games of Persona 3 through Persona 5. That was an amazing announcement. There are some fewer games that I'm kind of looking forward to that I haven't yet looked into, but I want to, like Callisto. Kind of looks like a pretty good new game for people that are into like Dead Space. But the reason why I'm doing this is because if you haven't noticed, there's a lot of people that are angry about a lot of stuff, and there's a lot of people that are angry at the other people for being angry about that stuff. And it's becoming an issue. And the reason why I say it's becoming an issue is because of the fact that, you know, there's a difference between having Discord and actually discussions about things, and then there's the other side of the people that are just spouting off and yelling names, cursing, and all that stuff. And I don't care what you do, but you got to respect the fact that that's another human being that has their own opinion. And we kind of lost sight of that. We've kind of lost sight of that on definitely different sides of the aisle when it comes to especially gaming, but also because of political ideologies. Now, for me, I'm neither Republican or Democrat. I don't care about either side. Both sides have their bad people. Both sides have their good people. But it seems to me that the world has decided that they can't look past a letter that we put in front of our names. Like it just, and it's not just us. It's the people that are at the top that are just basically coaxing us into that mentality of attacking each other just because of the fact that we have different thoughts and we have different priorities. Like I'm a Christian, but I believe that you have the right to do whatever you want with your body, but you have the right to do whatever you want. I just don't think it should involve me. I should not have to pay for anything that you want to do, but I also think you have the opportunity to do that, what you want to do. It's super simple. And I believe that anybody has that right. But it seems that we've kind of gotten to the mix that it's like, if you don't believe in me, you have to be on the other side. And the same thing for the other side. And they both have this mentality. They both have this eagerness to engage us in this vitriol of violence that they want us to do this. They want us to fight each other because then if you don't and we all get along, then why would we need two sides? Why would we need Democrats? Why would we need Republicans if we both sides were getting along? If you're both fighting, then you have two sides to fight. You see what I'm getting at? If you don't hate the Republicans as a Democrat, then why would we call you a Democrat? And if you're Republicans and you don't hate the Democrats because you're a Republican, why would we call you a Republican? It's super simple. They want you to fight so they have something to fight, to have something that they can label themselves as and be at the top. So if you're a Democrat fighting a Republican because they have an R in front of their name, you're doing their bidding. You're doing what they want. and it's sad to see because we're always fighting each other over something. We're always, I mean, we can have discourse, we can discuss things, and I'm pretty sure if you actually think about it, instead of just automatically assuming what people are going to say or what they're going to do, instead having a discussion actually leads to good things. It leads to understanding, and some people might not want to understand the other side, and that's fine. But you got to understand that maybe then it might not be good for you to do what you're doing. For instance, activism. All right, activism is good. BLM, the actual idea of BLM is good. The actions of certain actions, like for instance the riots of last year or 2020, like that stuff is bad because rioting is destroying people's lives that actually have no connection to what you're fighting for. All right, you burn down somebody's building, you kill somebody. What did they have to do with it besides being in your way? Nothing. So you're effectively doing the bidding of a group of people that have an opinion, but you're also doing them disjustice in a way. And what I mean by that is because of the fact that the more people see that the riots are happening, the more people that aren't going to support you. You know what I mean? Like if, like, let's say you create an organization to save the starving puppies. All right, the starving puppies need food. All right, so you go to people's house, knock on the door, ask for $5 to help feed the starving puppies. Well, you're doing a great thing. You're asking for money. You're trying to get that food for those puppies. The other group that are also fighting to save the puppies are breaking down people's doors, grabbing all their food, and saying, "I have to do this for the puppies." If you understand what I'm saying, that people that they just broke into are going to let the world know, hey, they just broke into my house to save the starving puppies, but they stole my TV as well. How is that going to save the starving puppies? Well, if they say sell it, then yeah, but what if they don't sell it? See, that's the point though. Like people see that and then they stop actually wanting to help. So we've got to decide to cut loose the radicals, cut loose the people that are actually doing harm to the meaning of what you started out with. So for BLM, any of the writers, any of the activists that are doing harm to your organization, cut them off, stop them, because they're stopping you from growing and actually making a difference. And the same thing for any other activism that's actually trying to make a difference to make the world a better place. But we also got to do the same thing about these parties. So any of the bad people that is in front of the party or controlling the party, we need to cut them off. We need to stop them because they're not helping you. They're not making you better. They're actually dividing you. And that's the whole point of them, is to divide. Division makes them stronger due to the fact that now they're still on top because people are listening to them and they're spouting off about hating the Democrats or hating the Republicans. You are letting them win. So we need to stop letting them win. And I think there's a couple things that we can do. First off, we know that the January 6th hearings are going on, and obviously that's important in a way because there's people that did some bad things, and we need to stop them. All right, we need to put them in jail. You do something wrong, you go to jail. As simple as that. I don't care who you are. I don't care what party you're in. You go to jail. Don't stop at go. Don't collect $200. You're going straight to jail. But we need to do the same thing about the people that did injustice as well on the other side. You can't have this one-sided uh, mentality. All right, if someone does something wrong, does not matter who they are, from where they come from. If they've done something wrong, you make them pay for it. You make them go to jail. You make them pay the money. I'm pretty sure a normal human being that would see this on the internet would say, I am tired of people like uh, Paul Pelosi, I think that's his name, Paul Pelosi, getting away with no charges. He should have been charged, fined for what he did. Because a normal human being, me, you, would be able to be charged and even be in jail. He's not. He's neither of them are going on. Neither of them are going to happen. So that's something that's wrong. And he's married to one of the head people of the Democratic Party. But we also got to do the same thing to the right side. We got to hold people accountable, because if we don't hold people accountable, then guess what? We're going to keep creating that division. So we need to start holding every single person accountable that does something wrong. Because if we don't start creating that line saying you can't do this or you're going to jail, people are just going to still do it. It's not going to stop. But if we start putting them in jail, we start finding these people, if we start doing something, then all of a sudden, boom, guess what? People stop doing the bad thing. Because it's the same thing as a kid. You know, as you're a kid, you do something because you want to do it. You find out from your parents after they've given you some much needed attention on doing something bad. You then stop doing that bad thing because you're like, I don't want that kind of attention. We got to do the same thing to these people. If you've done something wrong, you pay for it. It's called justice. People lost their lives in 2020. People lost their lives during the riot of the Capitol. People need to be held accountable for these things. They need to be held accountable, or we're never going to move forward. We're never going to get to the peace because people are still going to say, "Well, what about this? What about this?" We need to start doing something about that. We need to start putting people accountable so that way we can make sure that we move forward. Because if we're never going to move forward that way. You're still going to have half the country hating the other half. We start crossing the middle lane and saying, okay, how about this? If you let us hold these people accountable during the January 6th committee, we'll hold the people accountable on the riots. That's fair. And I think it is fair. So that's what I'm saying. And the same thing about the summer, like the whole gaming community in general. We need to stop being sidelined on both sides. All right, because the other person that plays games is not your enemy. The enemy is the corporations that have chosen to basically milk out your wallet as much as possible in one game. We need to have them understand that unless you're giving us something new, stop giving it to us another year after year. So, for instance, perfect example is The Last of Us. We should stop getting it. If we got it for the PS3 and then they gave us a remastered for PS4, then they gave you the remastered for the PS5 through the game collection, and now they're giving it to you again. You shouldn't buy it. And the same thing for Skyrim too. Bethesda is terrible at doing this. They released it for Switch, they released PS3, released it for PS4, released it for PS5, you name it, they released it for it. And we need to stop them too. We need to make sure that these companies understand that you cannot keep expecting people to just keep buying your game over and over again, the same game. Because we keep giving them that money, they're not going to stop. So we got to actually stop them. And that's the way to do it. Is you got to, for gaming companies, the way to beat them is their wallet. For the people on the political aisle, the way to beat them is by holding them accountable. If it comes up to hire people, guess what happens? You vote them out. You get them out. And it means for both sides. Both sides. I don't care who it is. We need to stop having this mentality of the left needs to win, the right needs to win. We need to win. The people need to win. The people need to win. Not these money money greedy people. When these people are at the top because of one thing and one thing only, to line their pockets. And we need to stop them. That's all I gotta say. I hope you guys have a great day. I will hopefully make some more videos, and you guys have a wonderful evening, and I'll see you tomorrow.